Well, here we are again. Have to stop meeting like this for the third time in a year since last October. But I have another room with a view. I just get the best view, so at least there's that. But yeah, I'm feeling not too bad, and hopefully I won't be in here for too long this time, and get back to work. Hi, Ray here. Well, I am back to work, albeit at a slower pace than usual. This is a bit of a personal update, and if you're not interested in my personal life, well, I guess now would be the right time to sit or swipe away. But if you are interested, then gather round. You're part of my inner circle, and I'm so happy to have you here. I really appreciate all of the support and conversation that we've shared, particularly through the last year, which I have to admit has had its challenges, if that's not an understatement. So, as you've seen in the intro, I just made it to another dissection. Hopefully they cut out all the bad parts this time, though I hope I have some character left. It keeps people on their toes, right? Since the op, I have been out once at least, partly out of a desire to test out something new that arrived at the door as I was in the waiting room just before they rolled me under the lights. Actually, the last thing that I recall saying was, man, I should do a great review on those. My surgeon knows what I do here. Hi, if you're watching, thanks again for doing a great job, and I'm sorry about the bad jokes. Yeah, so something new I hope to show you soon, but I can't say any more right now. It did get me out to one of my favourite spots, and I think I mentioned in my last chat it's a fantastic time of the year due to the salmon run that attracts a lot of attention from fishermen, human and animal, I should say fishers, right? Photographers and just regular folks who have no particular agenda other than seeing one of the great spectacles unfold. It's always an incredible experience that never gets old. Hey, I'm a poet. More on that in a minute. I photographed it many times above and below the water, and it is a bit of a drag that I can't be out every morning, early, though I'm not an early bird by any means. I'm more of a night owl, and I have had a few late nights producing a new book. This one was a bit easier than the last one that I produced during my last recovery period in May, since the content, photos and writing, poems to be specific, were in existence, some for over 50 years. I wrote the earliest when I was 20. Still, designing and editing a book is never simple. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind and an incredible experience, not the least that a dear friend and amazing editor who's still working in that exacting field, it really is. She was my first editor all those years ago, and she's returned to reprise that role, cross a few T's, add some missing apostrophes, that kind of stuff. So this project has come full circle. And what a circle! Man, I'm actually lost for words on this, other than to say it's been a long time coming, and I thought of redoing this collection of poems and pictures for decades. And this has led to some interesting discoveries. Just a small example, I have this book of surrealist poetry by Andrea Schroeder, The Ozone Minotaur, and it was published by Solanese Press in 1969 with a foreword by J. Michael Yates, my first mentor, who encouraged me when I was like 19. Anyway, just yesterday, I noticed there's a blurb on the back dust jacket. It's a hardcover, imagine that. Rarely happens these days. Though, there will be a hardcover of my book available. The blurb was written by a poet named Michael Bullock, who I came to know well in the 80s, when he was somewhat younger than I am now. He turned 70 in 1986, as I recall, the year I created the cover for his surrealist novel, The Story of Noir. And I did the headshot on the back, which he told me years later he didn't like, though he conceded that it was a good artistic perspective. He just wished it was of someone else. I have a good number of his books, poetry and prose, which he gave to me. Michael was for a long time head of the creative writing department at the University of British Columbia. Along with Michael Yates and a whole lot of other incredible poets who were the engine of the literary scene around these parts. Andreas Schroeder's another UBC prof, teaching non-fiction these days, I gather. In other news, of course, I've been following all, well, not all, I get nothing done, but some of the many video commentaries and reviews on the Nikon Zr. I have to say, if you took all of them at face value, you'd have to believe that the Zr is about a dozen, maybe more, different cameras. Some of them suck, and others are the perfect camera. And the truth, I think it's safe to say, falls somewhere in between. I just say in brief what I said in my comments at the Zr release. At that price, there's nothing like it on the market today. But hey, I have the Nikon part of this hybrid, and I almost always shoot H.265, occasionally log. The 5.4 say resolution is really perfect for most of what I do, meaning these YouTube videos. Lots of room to work on a 4K timeline, cropping, zooming, etc. And we still have access to all those awesome red LUTs, right? What do you think? So as I've mentioned, there's some new stuff coming soon, pretty exciting too. And I'll see you with that before long. But I should mention before I go, Nikon's fall savings sale. I guess it'll depend where you are, but in the US and Canada, there's some excellent savings to be had, like $250 off the Z5 too. I mean, that's only been out for a few months. $600 savings on the Z6 III. Wow, $800 off the Z8 and $700 discount on the Z9. Just like most of the colors of the ZF again, kits available with great savings. Same for the ZFC, Z30. Still some DSLR deals to be had. Lenses, oh please don't tempt me. $400 off the 3.5 1.2. No! The planner, same discount there. 50 1.2, $250 off. So much good stuff. It's designed to give me gas. I just sold one of my Z6s, my original. I won't sell the second, but the money I made on that sale, and here's the thing, Nikon cameras hold their value, and the Z6 is still a very good camera. Yeah, I'm going to keep the returns of that sale in the saving for now. Finally, let me know if these personal updates are of interest. I guess if you hung in this far, maybe they are. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Helps the algorithm work in my favor. And if this is your first visit, and if you're interested in more from me, please do consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. In the meantime, take care. Cheers. We'll see you later. Bye.